Peace be with you. Welcome back to my channel for a beautiful spiritual download for the chosen ones, the light beings, humanitarian energy, Reiki healers, star seed, sun seeds, those people that are planting really good seeds as best you can, considering all circumstances, on all levels and all timelines, accepting that which has already happened, that which is to come. Acceptance, going with the flow type of an energy. Shout out to the people who are passing the test. Your heart is as light as a feather. I'm sitting here cleansing, actually, in the bathtub. And I said to myself, I need to put a message out into the ethers. I need to put a message out amongst the chosen. Right now, we are in the Lion's Gate. I'm sure a lot of you can feel the vibrations, the ebb and the flow, the removal of things that are, we just don't need it anymore, right? No hard feelings, no ill intentions, nothing of ill repute by way of, energy. It's just time, right? It's just time for certain things to be removed. Making way and or making room for beautiful things to come in. That is the purpose. That is the ebb and flow. That is the divine order I just heard by way of what is needed in order for us to move forward to all of these beautiful and great endeavors. In this energy of knowing, right? There's an energy of knowing. It's one thing to think, believe, wonder, and or just know, right? There is a knowing that I kept hearing all day. It was supposed to happen that way, right? It was supposed to happen that way. The divine is so beautiful. The ascended masters are so patient with us. We are eternally grateful, right? That's an energy. That's a vibration. That's a station. That's a channel. It had to happen that way. So I laid down today and I had dreams after dreams after dreams. And it's very rare that I lay down in the middle of the day. So when I do, coincidentally, I seem to dream when the sun is bright outside. So I had the blinds open. And when I woke up from 2 dreams back to back, the sun was shining in my face. And I woke up like, oh, I'm like, okay, God. It was like the sun got brighter and brighter. So if you can only imagine, I was laying on the bed, facing the window on my left side where my heart is, right? My heart chakra, in alignment. And coincidentally, my left arm was up and my right arm was down, which, reminded me of the as above, so below. So if you can get an image of that, just imagine that, if you will, and just take this, trip with me. It's a really good spiritual trip by way of me painting a picture, by way of imagery. And so I'm facing the window and, maybe an hour or two. So I had to have been facing west because the sun sets in the west, obviously. And the sun was so bright. So it was about 4 o'clock, between 4 and 5 maybe. And it was shining so brightly that as soon as I opened my eyes from this dream, I was like, oh, that portal. I want to go into that portal. That's what I saw. It was shining so bright and the blinds were just like perfect by way of alignment, and it just shined into my eyes, and I woke up and I'm processing the dream. And so I immediately grab a notepad and a pencil and I'm like writing with my eyes closed and open. I'm opening up my eyes and I'm seeing this bright light shine through the window, and I'm closing my eyes and I'm writing, and I'm just writing because I don't want to forget this dream. I know it means something, right? Needless to say, I fell back asleep. And by the next time I woke up, which had to have been 10, maybe 15 minutes later, the sun was shining even brighter in my eyes. And I'm like, oh, and I woke up and I said, the Lion's Gate. Come on, we got to go into the Lion's Gate. And so my son, who was doing his homework, he goes, are you talking in your sleep? Like he was hovering over me. And he said, I saw you moving in your sleep. And I said, oh, she must be healing. This is what my son said to me. And I'm like, what? So I had to been having a conversation out loud, verbally talking in my sleep. Maybe I was in between realms and dimensions and in the physical world and the spirit realm, which is very, very likely when it comes to me, the way I move. Okay, just on the ethereal level. I'm so glad to be able to move like that by way of the ethers, right? Because I return back to my physical body safe. That's a blessing. Needless to say, I got up and I'm like, the Lion's Gate, right? So I go outside. And my backyard is huge, y'all. So huge. I'm so grateful. And I just go and I'm staring at the sun and I'm sun gazing before the sun goes down. And so then I do a couple of laps around the backyard. Well, you know, obviously I put on my running shoes and I'm just walking and I'm just talking. And I said, Maya, you know, listen, are you weighing my heart? Can you just check my heart out? You know, and I'm laughing. Make sure my heart is good. You know, am I going the right way? Is it something you need me to see? Is there anything, you know, search me, you know, search me, higher gods above all the gods who are in position to govern this Lion's Gate. Like everybody ain't going. That's unfortunate. Okay, it is, because for humanitarians, you know, I think the biggest lesson that we had to, I ain't gonna even say learn, I think we just had to accept the fact that everybody's not gonna go. Because humanitarians, we want to save everybody. Ooh, I learned those lessons. I learned those lessons the hard way, the good way, the bad way, the indifferent way. I had to learn those lessons as a life path number 9. I've been all the numbers. I've been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Listen, I've been 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and again. And so yeah, that was the number 1 lesson. And I said, I gotta fill my cup. Where I'm going, I'm gonna need my cup. You know, I'm willing to share my overflow. But for humanitarians, remember to stay okay with you. Remember to always check in with yourself. We give and we give and we give. And, you know, some of us gave until we didn't have nothing left to give, right? And it wasn't until there was abandonment that we realize, hey, okay, I'm here. I understand that I could have mistakenly given people the impression that it was okay to take from me, right? So it always goes back to self-love is the moral of the story. Somebody caught that, somebody didn't. I'm touching a little bit on everything because I wanted to come together to make sense at some point, right? For myself and for everybody else. I'm channeling real heavy. So needless to say, humanitarians, Reiki healers, you know, it is so important to hang out with other healers, hang out with other spiritual people. Finding your soul tribe is good for your spiritual diet. It's so good for your spiritual diet. Because again, we learned, hey, you can't give it all away and you can't help everybody. Again, I'm using myself. I'm not exempt from that really good lesson. Y'all, there were some people that I helped and I damn near died, child. I started calculating all my near-death experiences and I'm like, okay, I need to have a talk with my spirit team. Like, wait a minute. Where am I at that I see more in people, want more for them than they want for themselves, and then it only leads to anguish and bitterness and frustration for myself because I'm so angry that people can't see who they are, right? And I'm like, don't you see your gifts? Like, no, he's not the guy. No, she's not your friend. And as I'm having this conversation with my yacht child, the wind picked up. Shout out to my yachts. She showed up in the backyard. Sekhmet was there to join her. Anubis was there. Big Egyptian energy, big Orisha energy. Oya showed up. So the wind started to blow. So I knew the wind was having a conversation with me. When you speak those words into the atmosphere, nature is absolutely going to respond back to you, right? So then a whole bunch of butterflies. I saw a black butterfly. I saw an orange butterfly. I saw a white butterfly. I've been seeing birds in twos. So I'm like, okay, nature, you're talking to me. Balance. Things are coming into balance. Very rarely do I look at the clock and there's not some type of synchronicity reminding me, keep going. Even if it feels a little crazy. So I'm having this conversation. I'm like, my God, can you weigh my heart? Like, what's good? And I realized that I was never really angry with other people. I was never really frustrated with them. I was frustrated at pieces of myself that resonated with them. Parts of myself that I had saved and other parts that I didn't have the ability to save were triggering. That was really what it was all about. Be that in this life or other lifetimes. When I surrendered to the fact that things were complete, no matter how I left the circumstance. Okay, a near-death experience trying to save somebody else who's really a reflection of you on one level or another, whether you want to admit that or not, be it good, bad, or indifferent, that's a reason to throw in the towel. That's a reason to walk away, right? But it was the perfectionist in me, the number 9 energy. Wait, I have to finish what I started, right? So we stay in relationships with people who are not willing to heal from their trauma. Willing is the key word. There has to be a will. Somebody has to want to live. They have to want to be better. So when we find ourselves wanting that more for other people than we do ourselves, that's a red flag. Careful. Because now your tank is going towards E, as in empty. It'll lead to you feeling depleted, messed up, jacked up, overweight, sad, depressed. Like, okay, these are reasons to leave things as they are. And so when we say that we listen to our intuition, we're guided by spirit to walk away. You know your story. You know the relationships that you said, enough. I want peace. There has to be something in you, an it factor that clicks and says, okay, that's enough. I'm given to something that is only giving me something that I don't need anymore. I'm over this. Maybe you needed a certain level of drama to awaken you, whatever that drama was. Be that somebody that's fighting against your energy, or maybe you're ready to be happy and you're happy and you find yourself curbing your enthusiasm for somebody that is not happy. So many times I was in circumstances where I'm like this big bright light and I'm like, cool, I knew how to move forward, right? I just didn't anticipate that I would still be attracting people who needed so much help to be happy. Where they saw in me, it was so easy to be happy. It's like, oh, you don't know pain. You don't understand. You don't know what it feels like to have pain. And I found myself curbing my enthusiasm, trauma bonding to satisfy the connection. It's the worst thing you can do. It's like, girl, I know pain. You know the conversation. Well, no, I lost my baby. this. So then you start talking about your trauma. Because now you're validating, hey, listen, I'm not better than you. I'm just better than who I was. One should never have to bring up their trauma. Least you be strong enough to sustain yourself. It will now become the one thing that you have in common with somebody else. You should never have to bring up your trauma to satisfy somebody's curiosity about why you are so happy. It's like, oh, no. Listen, listen, I'm just like you. But in reality, you're not. So this boiled down to my conversation with my aunt about why I attracted those people. Right? Maybe one has to be real with themselves. Is there a need to be needed? And if so, what are you satisfying? What are you lacking? This was always about self-love. There's somebody in an abusive relationship right now, unfortunately, getting beat, hurt, cursed out, talked down to. And in their mind, their patience towards that situation is a form of love. Them being tolerant to dysfunction is a form of love in their opinion. But in reality, it's them validating why they aren't worthy to not be in a circumstance like that. So for healers, humanitarians, people that want to help people, you cannot help everybody. Some of us have had to learn that the hard way. There's been people that I've wanted to pray for, and I sit down with my spirit team be like, I'm like, huh? I'm like, but it says, what? What religious belief are you adapting to? It says, pray for your enemies, pray for this, pray for that. No, it's a time to pray. It's a time to let go. It's a time to walk away. It's a time to let stuff go. One must know the time and what must be done. Minister Louis Farrakhan, that is his saying. One must know the time and what must be done. Because we already know what it feels like when we overstay our welcome with people, places, things that we've outgrown. You already know what happened there. So now what? As I'm having a conversation with my aunt. So at the end of the conversation, I said, hey, my aunt, listen, I gotta look out for me. I really have to look out for me. But for me, love, honestly, is seeing other people happy. That really does make me happy. That really freaking does make me freaking happy. When I see people happy, like, child, I'll scroll past an Instagram video of somebody that's getting engaged or proposed to, or somebody professing their love, or somebody just had a baby. Child, I'll be sitting there, eyes crying like it's me. I'm like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. They're so happy. Like, I'm like, and I had to talk to myself. I mean, I've always known this about myself. It's not a surprise, but I had to remind myself. I was like, I really do like to see people happy. But in doing that, in understanding that assignment or that aspect of my character, which is real, it's real. It's real. Ain't a damn thing fake about it. I really like to see people happy. This is why I crack so many jokes. I'm like, look, okay, yeah, I know. Yeah, they like, no, but you don't know what happened. I'm like, I know, but we got to laugh about this shit because you still here. I'm still here. We got to move forward. But in me understanding that, my conversation with my aunt is my heart is in between these realms. As I'm standing in the portal like, y'all gonna let me through? Am I good? In me understanding that, I had to have a real conversation. I said, I can't help everybody. Because what happened in that moment is I had to recant every moment where I damn near died trying. Okay? You know the saying, I ride or die. You know the funny little thing on Instagram or wherever they do it. It's like, I'm a ride or die. No, I rode and I died. And I'm not riding and dying anymore. Or dieting. Is that a word? We're going to make it one. I'm not riding and dying anymore for no circumstances. However, the times that I did ride and die, rode and died, and kept riding and dying for people that wouldn't even go wouldn't even roll me down child, where am I going? I got all messed up right there. But listen, for people that couldn't even, let me just say this, couldn't even roll themselves to the corner. Forget me riding and dying for them. They wasn't ready to ride and die for themselves. Red flag. I had to accept the fact I can't help everybody. Ooh, I learned that the hard way. But in that moment, standing in the Lion's Gate with all my beautiful soul tribe, because again, you know, I'm here for the soul tribe too. I love to see everybody happy, thriving, well. Like that makes my heart feel good. It really does make me feel good because I feel like, okay, oh, good. Whew, we're changing the world. Thank God. So as I'm standing in the middle of that portal, I meaning we meaning I, right? Everybody can't go. And as sad as that is, the reality is, it's the truth. You can show somebody how to fish. You can even chew the fish up and break it down and give it to them all emulsified and you know, broken down and give it to them to eat. And I mean this figuratively. But to digest it for them, to walk it for them is not a healthy way to help. It's debilitating. It's a crutch. What's the worst thing that can happen? They have to go to source, knowing when to help, when not to help, when to pray, when not to pray for somebody, knowing the time. There's a time to pray. It's a time not to pray. It's a time to get serious. It's a time to laugh. Knowing the time is absolutely going to save the world. At least the world that we're creating, because we're creating a world that a lot of people don't see themselves in. They don't understand the ability of what it takes to be in the world that we are manifesting. When I mean that, I mean within. So shall it be without. Everybody can't go. A lot of us left family members. How hard did you pray? How hard did you try? Only to be left by people that now are realizing that was a blessing. That they really left you to face yourself and get on a whole nother path to find people that are more like you. Only to realize that you really left them behind, that you're leaving them behind. And there's no hard feelings. We're not mad. We're not angry. Because we can't do anything with anger and resentment when it comes to circumstances to the capacity that we realize you can't go. What me being mad about the fact that you can't go? What is that going to do for me? Nothing. It's unfortunate. It's sad. But when do we get to the point where we learn, hey, curbing your enthusiasm hasn't done anything good for you, but just put you in an energy that you never wanted to be in the first place? Who are you curbing your enthusiasm for? I walked into a store and I was just in a good energy. Like I really was thinking good thoughts. I've been walking with myself, talking to myself. So I know my vibration was high. I walked into the store and a guy walked right in front of me. He looked at me and it was like, He walked right in front of me. He didn't hold the door. You know, I'm a stickler for chivalry. Just in general, had he been a guy or not. If I see somebody coming, I hold the door. Why? Because why not? It's easy. This is not a hard gesture. It's like, let's make our day easy. I'm passing you in the day. You're passing me. Let's make it easy. Long story short, I felt his energy. He couldn't even look back at me because he knew that he was just wrong energetically. The first thing I said was, he's not happy. That was the first thing I said. The second emotion I had was, He felt triggered by just my energy. I didn't open my mouth. I don't know this person, but he felt my energy. And he wanted me to turn down my light. But as the young people say, turn down for what? For what? Don't you turn your light down. And so you know what it did for me? I always went back. I go back to me. I went back within, right? And I said, I'm so glad that I'm glad. I'm so glad that I'm happy. I'm so glad that this joy I have is not because of this really nice car that I'm getting in or these really nice shoes. Although I'm grateful for those things, I'm happy because I survived shit that I was not supposed to survive. Like, what are my reasons? Remind yourself of what your reasons are. Child, you survived a whole bunch of death spells, a whole bunch of whatever you survived. You're here. That's a reason to be happy. Okay, now that I'm here, now what? I got to start thinking about what's next. One has to be girded in the reality of what you believe about yourself and the world around you. But the world within you is the one that sets the standard. I had to have a conversation with myself. Everybody can't go. Everybody's not your people. You will always be your person. Some people come to stay for a lifetime. Some people are just passing through. The sooner we accept that, it's going to remove a lot of grief and regret of what you feel you've lost with people. Now, in this retrograde, it's a lot of people thinking about just how nice you were. One thing I know that's a fact. People never forget how you treat them. Even if they were assholes, they never forget how you treat them. So then I started giving thanks to the people that loved me when I wasn't so lovable. Primarily my children. When I lost my baby, I was so angry. Oh my God. I ran a fever, y'all. Like literally my body got hot. I was so angry at the father, at the baby mama, at my mother, at all the people that I had been there for, and they left me. They abandoned me. I was so mad. I can laugh about it now because I promise you, as crazy as it sounds, those dark moments, those suicidal thoughts, that anger, that rage was the best thing ever, because you got to look yourself in the eye and say, now what? How long do you plan to be here suffering in silence, hurting yourself because other people can't go with you? When I had that conversation with my yacht, all I kept hearing was, oh, it was supposed to happen that way. Every shadow that came up, that's what my spirit guides were saying. Oh, it's supposed to happen that way. There's a little bitty gnat that just came out of nowhere. Nobody knows where it came from. There's no fruit in here in the bathroom. There's no fruit flies, no nothing. A little bitty gnats. So not only are people watching you, as they should, you're a leader, you're a humanitarian, you went through the school of hard knocks. Now you're taking the easy path. It's the yellow brick road. If I only had a brain, I could think, I can see. A heart of courage, a brain, a heart, and a mind, head over heart, heart over head, whatever you want to call it. The two have to coexist in a way that it helps you on this journey. You didn't come to stay. I didn't come to stay. Take some pressure off yourself and make yourself a new day. So as I'm having this conversation with my aunt, because I know I'm in spiritual court. I'm like, yo, I'm in spiritual court. I'm walking in the backyard. I'm like, I'm in spiritual court. Sun setting. They woke up from these dreams, processing. I had dreams about people that I had to really forgive. Like, there was like deep betrayal. Like, bitch, you've been betraying me since I was born. So the first thing I said was like, yeah, I don't need that memory no more. You know what I mean? Like, I know it happened, but yeah, I don't really need that no more. I'm good. You know, like, this is the feeling that I'm feeling. So I'm talking to my yacht. I'm in spiritual quarters. I'm walking in the backyard. Child, the wind picked up. The birds started chirping. My yacht was like, you ain't exempt. I'm like, what's good, my yacht? You gonna wait this hard or you not? What's good? Because I'm trying to move forward. I am moving forward. My will is to move forward. I'm in alignment. That's what I need to do. Now, what's next? What are we doing next? So then I started to plan the next move in my spirit. Once I made that plan and I saw it in myself and I saw it in my spirit, I know it was already done. So then I'm walking and I'm smiling. Now I'm laughing. You know, I wasn't preoccupied. Maybe somebody was looking out their window. Maybe they weren't. Didn't matter to me. I was having a cold conversation with the spirit realm. We're very peculiar people, right? Come through, spirit. So I'm walking and I'm talking. I'm like, okay, so what I got to do? I'm in spiritual court. I'm cracking jokes with the spirit team, y'all. In the backyard, walking. Fresh up out of a dream. Show me the person that tried to take me out in the dream, child. I woke up with the sun in my eyes. The Most High was like, okay, come on through the portal. It's your turn. I'm like, dang, it's my turn. Okay, go on and search me. Is there anything I need to get rid of? Anybody I'm still mad at? I'm like, yeah, she's still kind of pissed me off. I'm not talking to myself. I said, that was wrong what she did. That was wrong what he did. But I'm having a real conversation. But I'm like, I don't really need the feeling no more. You know, I think the pain came from me thinking that I would be with these people for the rest of my life. What I wanted for myself, I really wanted for them too. My pain was coming from the fact that, damn, I was so loving, caring, and kind to you. How you turned down that love? But then I realized, oh, I gave somebody the impression. I gave these people the impression, be it family members, friends, lovers, whatever. I gave them the impression that my love was naive. That it was okay to treat me like this, right? So I always had to look at myself, irregardless to what people did. It always stemmed from how was I presenting myself. And when you're dealing with people that don't understand pure love, they'll attack it. They'll try to kill it. They'll tell you, ain't nobody that happy. They want to see your misery. What happened? How'd you get like that? Ain't nobody that happy. Everybody's got problems. I remember somebody told me that one time. I said, ooh, no, I don't want to be that person. I said, we got solutions. Like, what are you talking about? I'm the solution. I said that before the song came out. That says, you know, there's no problems but solutions. Inko, whatever her name is. Bless the queen. I love her. You know, I seen her in the ethers. Hey, girl, listen. But I'm just saying, it's a mindset. So I had people that I really irritated their demons, okay? But when I found that, you know, it was depressing me, I'm like, damn, this is not even my spirit. Like, I was really born happy. I've always been a happy camper. Always, y'all. I've been cracking jokes since I was 5 and 6 years old. I came into the world like, do. And child, whatever I needed to do, whatever I signed up for, by the time I got to a certain age, I was bitter. I grew weary. I said, now, wait one damn minute. I'm looking at all the people that I'm pouring all this love into. I'm like, wait a minute. I had to have a conversation with Source. I had a whole nervous breakdown, child, by myself, sober. Couldn't reach for nothing but my higher self. And I said to Source, I said, listen, been rocking and rolling with you. I've been praying since I was 3 years old. I remember my prayers in the bathroom at 3. Oh God, oh please, oh God, oh be up there. My little prayers. Never went to bed without praying, right? So to get to that point, I'm like, what the hell is going on? These people trying to kill me. And then I lost it all. Everybody. Like the Most High wiped their ass out. I'm like, damn. I don't talk to none of these people no more. And then I had a real conversation. I said, Most High, where am I going that I had to go through this type of a lesson, that I got to walk alone like this? This is crazy. What is going on? I didn't see myself as being that much of a big deal. Why was I minimizing my purpose? Because if these were the lessons that led to set point, child, what am I supposed to do again? If it was supposed to happen that way, then what the heck is it that I'm supposed to be signing up for? And then after I came out of madness, child, it's levels to it. You go through madness, then you go through anger and depression and sadness. And then everybody thought I was a lunatic because I was laughing about my pain. I'm like, oh, shit, I had to go through that. And then when I would think back to these painful moments, I would only extract the good. Remember, you get with people to have a happy life. You don't get with them so they can sleep with your man and try to kill you and stab you and witchcraft. No, you like, hey, let's have a good time together. Hey, I like you, you like me. Let's have a good time. So that's painful. When you realize, hey, somebody had another plan. You're like, you was trying to kill me? What? Remember when I got the $10,000 and I took you shopping? I had your back. Right. Okay. So it's interesting. So when people have a different plan, a different setup, let them. They're on a whole nother mindset. They're on a whole nother timeline. It goes a little something like this. It's real easy. Here's my cup. Here's your cup. Would you like to equally give and take and pour into my cup? If you don't want to, then it's a hell to the no. Okay, bye-bye. Don't stay there waiting for somebody to fill your cup. That is your responsibility. Do what you love. Everybody else has to figure it out. Because if doing what you love and being who you are and being happy and doing what makes you happy is hurting somebody else, then them ain't your people. Children too. They're not exempt. You got to set real boundaries. Mama, daddy, cousin, brother, whatever. But you got to be willing to live without anything and anybody at any given moment. We can't take none of this with us. So with that being said, this was a long-winded conversation. Thank you for allowing me to purge as I cleanse in the Lion's Gate, y'all. So y'all waved my heart. I'm standing in the middle of the Lion's Gate. I'm like, what's good? I'm sitting in spiritual court looking from side to side. Laughing, y'all. Laughing. Yes, honey. Laughing when I, never thought I would laugh about certain things. The shadows of death. The dark night of the soul. Remember that one guy, that hurt you so bad. That it hurt you so good. Come on now. Everything that we've had to go through has led us to this point. So the question now is why? What am I supposed to do with these experiences now that I've had them? I'm going to tell you what it taught me. Shit, laugh. Everybody can't go. Guess that was our time together. Accepting completion is not a form of being a victim to abandonment. Somebody take that and let that resonate. Sometimes shit is just complete. It's done. Okay, it's done. That whole spin the block and reconciliation, 9 times out of 10, if somebody spin the block, they still the same. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a 99.9% chance that they still the same. And if they're different, good for them. Good for them. They'll be different for somebody else. But once you leave a circumstance, oh yeah, don't go back. Yeah, nah. Don't go back. That's a recommendation, a suggestion. I can't make nobody do nothing they don't want to do. All I can do is walk the walk, talk the talk, you know, practice what I preach, give myself the same advice as a humanitarian, as a leader, as a teacher. My life has been a great lesson to this point. So when I come into a room and I'm sitting with somebody and they're like, oh, he laughing the karmic. And then I be like, first of all, look, I'm going to talk to them exactly the way I talk to myself. Child, I'm how to talk to suicide, depression, anxiety. Listen, in a sober mind. I laugh because I know that that's exactly sometimes where people need to be in order to go through that ego death. It's all ego. That's the ego crying, ah, but my car and the money. And we had a big wedding. Well, you had a big wedding. You had a big party. It taught you, etiquette. That's how you got to look at your pain. Oh, that one time. Remember when he cheated on you? It taught you how to value yourself. You realized that ain't what you wanted. And if you stayed, right, you sold yourself out for something cheap. When did you start believing that God makes junk? That's where we got to start. When you start to allow things like that torment your spirit, or you're addicted to religion and outdated, ways, and people, well, if you married, stay married. You know how many people married and they stay miserable? Stay for the money, stay for the children, miserable, a whole life of misery. That's horrible. If there's no peace, there can be no true inner self-reciprocity, justice. This is not a dress rehearsal. And when you take your last breath, it's going to seem like you did that in a blink of an eye. That's how fast, 100 years is going quick. Yeah, damn, that was quick. Take some pressure off yourself, don't you? Listen. Oh, I can honestly say that apparently I had to go through pretty much everything in order to be at this point. I had to go through a lot. You had to go through a lot. You know why? Because where you going, you ain't got time to be weak and flimsy. When situations pop up, stuff pops up now, be like, oh, okay. Wisdom kicks in. I be like, I got so many spin the blocks in my DM, child. I got people on hold for 52 weeks in all eternity. I'm not spinning none of them blocks. I got messages on Facebook that's been there for 122 weeks, man. Listen, I'm not going back. Respectfully. No hard feelings. It's okay. I got the lesson. It's time to go. Okay. So this is the message. Maybe it was a little here and there and all over the place, but shout out to the people that were able to decode the message. Sometimes I talk in parables. Sometimes I make things literal. Sometimes it's a combination of the two. It's a big gumbo, soup conversation, a plethora of shapes and verbal connotations, right? But as my God weighed my heart, I felt good in my body. I laughed about things that happened. And I also realized that something new is happening under the sun. That's exciting. That's exciting. So we've already made it through the part where it says nothing new is under the sun, right? When you get to that point of wisdom, and you could be in your 30s, you could be in your 20s. Heck, I've met old souls, okay, that was young by way of age, but old by way of lifetimes. Once you make it to that nothing's new up under the sun, that is absolutely a huge indication that you need to create something new up under the sun. The God we serve, the God I serve, is a big God, never duplicated. Although the days seem to have a similar resemblance, they're not the same day. So what are we creating new up under the sun? New opportunities, new conversations. New conversations require us talking about things that are going to push us forward. New conversations have to do with co-creating new spiritual experiences. And then your spirit, you know, is now deciding, hey, we're doing something we've never done. And then you ask yourself, never done? These are full conversations that one should have when going within. Talk to yourself, question yourself, pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention to your body. Are you holding your breath when you're thinking about a certain circumstance and situation? Breathe. When in doubt, breathe. Shit, if you don't know what to do, take a deep breath. Listen, take a deep breath, sing a note, do something. Even if it don't make sense, take a deep breath. I love y'all. I love me. I love me enough that I love y'all too. And I got enough love to give. And I promise you, no matter what the circumstance, it's okay. It's all right. It happened exactly the way that it was supposed to happen. Once you accept that, then you can surrender the idea that you need to try to change something. That is the something new, deciding to have a new thought about what had happened was. I love y'all. I love you so much. I'll see you soon. I'm going to be doing some spiritual downloads tonight. I'm very excited about it. And I just thank the Most High for being able to speak to you. Shout out to the people that get me. Shout out to the people that don't. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, I wish you peace, love, and understanding abundantly. So much so that you know you have every right to be here and that you matter. You're huge. You're a huge deal. Which side of the street you're on is absolutely up to you. What timeline you decide to be on is absolutely up to you. Are you well with all that has happened? And so one should tell themselves, hey, self, hey, how you doing? Me, I, we, you, us. All is well. All is well. All is well. I love y'all. I'll see you in the next video, okay? Until then, peace be with you.